The view of political theory is that elections are supposed to achieve two ends. First, they're supposed to put better people into office, so selecting a more competent group of civil servants. Second, they're supposed to restrain them and discipline them once they're in office. So if they face the threat of re-election, they should be less likely to steal, they should do a better job of delivering services for their constituents. So the problem was, in 2009, there was wide-scale election fraud marring the presidential election. There was a forced recount, there was a physical inspection of the ballot boxes. This led to an undermining of faith in the democratic process and may have led to kind of decreased confidence in the newly established government. The common way to cheat in an election is to infiltrate the aggregation process. So after voting is stopped, but before the count is certified, there's a series of steps where kind of votes are first counted at the polling center, then after that they're counted in an aggregation center. In Afghanistan's case, they're counted in a provincial aggregation center, and then they're sent on to the capital where the aggregation process is finalized. Now, if you think about kind of ways of rigging an election, if they're bringing all of the ballot papers into one centralized location, the Election Commission is sort of absorbing the costs of coordinating the fraud for you. So if you can cheat just during this aggregation process, it might potentially be much cheaper to cheat than to go and coordinate a massive fraud effort across a broad swath of space. So at the end of any election, there will be a provisional tally sheet posted on the outside of a polling center. They're required to do this by law. So we sent out a team of kind of trained interviewers to go, and we would take a picture of it and have photographic evidence of what the vote count was at the polling center. We monitored everywhere. And the monitoring actually took place by taking pictures of the provisional tally, but we informed the representative of the Election Commission who presides over the polling center in half of them. So our treatment group received a letter indicating that they would be monitored. Our control group was monitored, but they weren't aware of their monitoring status. We did this because we wanted to test the effect of whether or not knowledge that you would be caught cheating in this particular way would change behavior. We had two observable measures of fraud. One was whether or not the provisional tally sheets had been stolen or damaged. The other is the votes for strongly connected candidates. We find that we reduce stealing and damaging of materials by 60%. We reduce votes for powerful candidates by about 25%. To begin with, in Afghanistan, just for the purposes of proving the concept, we used only digital photographs, and we physically transported all of the information to a centralized location. We felt that the experience was successful enough and had sufficient evidence that it was affecting fraud that we decided to do it on a much larger scale in Uganda. In Uganda, we used smartphones, had people take pictures of the provisional tally with their smartphones and transmit it to a central database. The study to us provides proof of concept that ordinary people might potentially be able to use their cell phones to police an election and make elections freer and fairer.